Okay, so here is something nobody warns you about when you switch from a regular water cooler to a 5-gallon jug system. You are going to have to physically flip a 40-pound bottle of water upside down onto that thing. I pulled a muscle in my back doing it once. I am not even exaggerating. That is exactly the kind of problem that makes electric water bottle pumps such a smart move. You just pop one on top of the jug, press a button, and water comes out. No flipping, no spilling, no chiropractor visit afterward. I went deep on 7 of the best ones, and honestly, some of these surprised me with how clever they are. Links to everything are down in the description, by the way. Let me walk you through what I found. The Redsack SP02 is the one I want to talk about first because the engineering here is unlike anything else on this list. Every other pump you will find keeps its motor up in the main housing and sucks water upward through a tube. The Redsack said forget that and put the motor at the bottom of the intake pipe, fully submerged in the water. So instead of pulling, it pushes, and the difference is wild. We are talking a full cup in about 3 seconds. I actually had to train myself to pay attention because if you look away for even a moment, your glass is overflowing onto the counter. But here's the part that really got me. You know how most pumps make that annoying humming vibration that echoes through the whole jug? Because the Redsack motor is underwater, the water absorbs all that noise. It runs almost silent. I was not expecting that at all. The 2000 mAh battery is nearly double the industry standard too, so you can go through roughly 15 full jugs on a single charge. If you are someone who fills big pots for cooking, or you have a busy household where people constantly grab water, this thing just eats through the workload without complaining. The cozy Charm Z02 solves a problem that drives me crazy with cheaper pumps. You know how after a few days the flow starts getting weaker and weaker until you are standing there for 30 seconds waiting for a glass to fill? That is called voltage sag, and it happens because as the battery drains, the motor slows down. The cozy Charm fixes this by running 2 motors in parallel. Both of them share the load, which means even when the battery is getting low, you still get a strong, steady pour. 9 seconds for a 16-ounce cup consistently from the first glass to the last. And somehow the thing only weighs 10 ounces with 2 motors crammed inside. It also fits on 2, 3, and 5-gallon jugs without needing to pop the cap off, which keeps dust and bugs out, especially if you keep your jug in a garage or pantry. The black finish is a nice touch too. Most pumps in this category look like medical equipment. This one actually looks like it belongs on a modern kitchen counter. Now, the Beao 019 is not flashy and it is not trying to be, but it does something that every parent needs to hear about. Imagine your 3-year-old walks up to the water jug, figures out the big fun button on top, pushes it, and then toddles off to go play with blocks. A normal pump will keep running. It does not know your kid left. It will happily drain an entire 5-gallon jug right onto your kitchen floor while you are in the next room. The Beao has a hard-coded 60-second automatic shutoff that kills the motor no matter what. If you actually need continuous flow for a big pot or something, you hold the button for 3 seconds to override it, but the default is always safe. The 4-watt motor pushes 1.5 liters per minute, which is noticeably faster than the cheapest options, but not so fast that it splashes everywhere. Battery lasts about 30 to 40 days on normal use. It charges through regular USB instead of USB-C, which is the one slightly outdated detail, but honestly, for something you charge once a month, that is not keeping anyone up at night. Where things get really interesting is the AMZ Jet H3. This is where the category starts feeling less like a simple pump and more like an actual kitchen tool. There is a digital display on this thing with 4 preset volumes: 200, 600, 800 milliliters, and continuous. You tap the amount you want, walk away, and it stops on its own at exactly that measurement. I know that sounds like a gimmick, but think about it practically. You are making rice and the recipe calls for 600 milliliters. Press, walk to the stove, done. No measuring cup, no guessing. The other detail I love is the foldable spout. When you are not using it, the nozzle tucks down flat against the body, completely sealed off from whatever is floating around your kitchen. Cooking oil mist, dust, pet hair, all of it stays off the part where your water comes out. That is a meaningful hygiene upgrade over a spout that just sticks out permanently, collecting whatever lands on it. Fair warning though, the collar only fits standard jug necks at 2.16 inches, so double check yours before buying. And it runs just slightly louder than the simpler pumps, which is the trade-off for packing all those electronics into a small housing. Alright, complete change of pace. The MyVision 012 weighs 3 ounces. 3. You could mail this thing with a single stamp. It stands 5 inches tall, and honestly, you forget you own it until you need it, which is exactly the point. This is the pump you throw in a backpack for camping, keep in the RV glove box, or bring to a tailgate. Despite being tiny, it runs the same 1200 mAh battery as pumps twice its size, good for 30 to 40 days. One thing that separates it from the dozens of cheap lookalikes flooding the market is the weighted hose. Budget pumps use flimsy silicone tubes that curl and float inside the jug, which means the last 2 gallons at the bottom are basically unreachable unless you want to manhandle a 40-pound container. The MyVision has a stainless steel weight at the tip that drops the tube straight to the bottom every single time. You get every last drop without tilting anything. The charging port is micro USB, which, yeah, feels like a throwback, but for a once-a-month charge that is not a deal breaker. And the manufacturer offers a 2-year replacement policy where they do not even ask you to send the broken one back. They just ship a new pump. That kind of confidence from a company says a lot. The Voya SB101 is doing something none of the others even attempt. It does not look like a pump. It looks like a miniature water cooler. Standing over 16 inches tall with a wide, stable base and a swiveling stainless steel faucet arm, it completely changes the aesthetic of having a jug in your kitchen or office. But the real magic is the base plate. It has a weight-activated switch. You set a glass on it, water pours, you pick the glass up, it stops. No buttons, no hands needed. When you are elbow deep in raw chicken or juggling a phone call and a toddler, that hands-free operation is incredible. The 1500 mAh battery covers about 20 days. One thing to know is that if your water jug sits higher than the pump, gravity can create a siphon effect that causes a slow drip from the faucet, so keep the jug level with or below the base, and you are golden. Compared to the MyVision, it is the total opposite philosophy. One is about disappearing into your pocket, this one is about being a permanent, beautiful fixture on your counter. Last up is the BY4 UCSQ, and think of it as the greatest hits compilation. It borrows the foldable hygienic spout from the AMZ Jet, adds 3 dispensing presets at 300 milliliters, 1000 milliliters, and continuous flow with a 90-second safety cutoff, and charges through USB-C. That 1-liter mode is clutch if you are into fitness and want to fill a gym bottle to a precise amount without babysitting the pour. At 8.4 ounces, it travels well, and the foldable nozzle earns its keep at the beach or any dusty environment. The one quirk is the silicone hose tends to kink if you do not position it carefully inside the jug, but replacing it with a slightly stiffer third-party tube is an easy 5-minute fix. So here is the honest breakdown. The Redsack SP02 is the powerhouse, pure speed and silence for busy kitchens or offices that go through water fast. The cozy Charm Z02 is for anyone who hates that weak trickle you get from dying batteries, steady flow start to finish. The Beao 019 is the safety pick if you have little kids or you just want the peace of mind of automatic shutoff. The AMZ Jet H3 is the kitchen nerd dream, precise volumes and excellent hygiene design. The MyVision 012 is the traveler pick, absurdly light and backed by a warranty that actually means something. The Voya SB101 is the premium desk or countertop experience with that hands-free pour. And the BY4 UCSQ is the versatile middle ground that does a bit of everything well. Links are all in the description. Hit subscribe if this saved you some research time, and I will see you in the next one.